Welcome back to From the Pages, where the golden era of wrestling bleeds back to life. Today we dive into the November 1963 issue of Big Time Wrestling, and I promise this one isn't just an issue. It's a war report, a battle cry, a love letter soaked in blood, sweat, and steel chairs. It was the return of a fan favorite publication, now upgraded to a 68-page powerhouse with national reach and a promise to tell it like it is, no matter how brutal the truth. This issue opens with a thunderous editorial that hits like a body slam. The editor welcomes readers to the expanded format and makes it clear Big Time Wrestling isn't here to pull punches. From now on, it's all the drama, all the heat, all the action, and none of the fluff. The goal is simple: report wrestling the way fans experience it: loud, chaotic, and absolutely real. And speaking of real, fans aren't shy in the letter section. The mailbag is a battleground of opinion. One fan writes in furious that the wild man, Crusher Lasowski, hasn't been featured more. Another demands matches be brought back to the Cow Palace. Some want more coverage of Buddy Rogers. Others ask for better referees or call out the magazine's writers by name. There are even corrections submitted, with readers arguing over move names and match results. What's clear from every letter is this: fans in 1963 cared deeply. They knew the stats, they followed the stories, and they weren't afraid to speak their minds. This wasn't passive consumption. This was a community, vocal, rowdy, and informed. From there, the issue detonates with a blood feud of legendary proportions: Dick the Bruiser versus Cowboy Bob Ellis. This saga is the heart of the magazine, and it's told with gut-wrenching detail. And we hear about Ellis's rage after Bruiser wrecked his car at a drive-in theater. And we see photos of both men bloodied, fists clenched, eyes swollen, surrounded by fans climbing over barricades. There's a moment when a fan hurls a milk carton at Bruiser's head. There's another where Ellis nearly loses consciousness in the ring. These two don't just hate each other, they are ready to die in the ring to prove who is better. And in this telling, you feel every punch, every drop of blood, every roar from the crowd. It's real, it's raw, it's wrestling. Next, we're introduced to a man who would become one of the most beloved legends of all time, Bruno Sammartino. But here in 1963, Bruno is still rising. The article traces his journey from war-torn Italy, where he nearly died of illness and starvation as a child during the Nazi occupation. He arrived in America weighing under 90 pounds. Within years, he became the strongest man in the country, literally. He lifted over 600 pounds, wrestled Haystacks Calhoun, and used his devastating bear hug to snap the will of even the fiercest competitors. This isn't just a wrestling profile, it's a human triumph. Bruno's story is one of resilience, family, and dignity. He's not just strong, he's a symbol of everything good in the sport. From hero to rising star, we meet Les Thatcher, a young, handsome wrestler who grew up loving the sport. He trained in Boston under Tony Santos and now brings a mix of youthful enthusiasm and technical finesse to the ring. The article shows Thatcher strumming a guitar, posing with fans, and throwing crisp drop kicks. He represents a new generation, athletes who want to entertain but respect the craft. At this point, he's just getting started, but you can already see the seeds of a long career being planted. And then we meet Fritz von Erich. This isn't a man, it's a machine of destruction. His feared iron claw is profiled in terrifying detail. So dangerous, it was insured by Lloyd's of London for $1 million. He demonstrates it in full-page photo spreads, his hand crushing foreheads, blood seeping down faces, opponents screaming in agony. Fritz doesn't want to win. He wants to hurt. He details how the claw shuts off blood flow to the brain and crushes skulls with surgical precision. He calls himself unbeatable, and by the end of the article, you believe him. The magazine shifts next to an unforgettable tag match: the Von Brauners versus the Nielsen's, with Saul Weingeroff handcuffed to Dick the Bruiser to prevent interference. Spoiler, it doesn't work. This match is pure madness. Steel canes, blindsided attacks, illegal tags. Fans nearly riot. The climax comes when both teams are laid out in the ring and Wangeroff tries to escape his cuffs. It ends in chaos. Security floods the arena. Nobody's satisfied. Everyone's screaming for a rematch. And that's exactly how wrestling should end. Unfinished, unpredictable, unforgettable. We get some variety next. Brief looks at Penny Banner, one of the queens of the women's division. She's powerful, beautiful, and no nonsense. Then there's a rare behind-the-scenes moment as we're invited into the home of Joe Blanchard, where we learn about his family, his quiet dignity, and the difference between the man and the performer. Ray Stevens even chimes in with a dream to race in the Indianapolis 500. It's a reminder that these men are larger than life, but still human underneath the bravado. Humor shows up too in the form of short jokes, gag captions, and a few tongue-in-cheek notes from the editorial staff. And for those who want even more, the magazine offers subscriptions and back issues for just 50 cents each. A full wrestling library delivered to your door for the price of a cheeseburger. Those were the days. There's even a contest page. One lucky fan could win free issues for a year if they correctly answered a trivia question and mailed it in. And of course, the merchandise section brings it all home. Photos of your favorite stars, autographed posters, event programs, ringside newsletters, all available for pennies compared to today's collectibles market. This issue of Big Time Wrestling is wrestling journalism at its purest. Gritty, passionate, over the top, honest. It gives you the action in the ring, the drama behind the curtain, and the voice of the fans in the stands. Whether it's the rise of Bruno, the horror of the Iron Claw, or the madness of Tag Team Chaos, every page matters. Every photo tells a story. And if you love stories like these, if this took you back, or maybe taught you something new, then do your part, like this video. Share it with your wrestling family and subscribe to the channel. This is From the Pages, and we're just getting started. We've got decades more to cover, so stay tuned, stay loud, and never forget the way it used to be. We'll see you next time. Not with it.